everybody, welcome back to the channel. Tonight I'm actually working at the house that I've showed in a couple of previous videos. We're in the process, or our business is in the process of remodeling it, but my wife and kids, we're moving into this house. So good opportunity to do a lot of filming and things. I'm working at night down here a lot on trying to get some of this stuff renovated and remodeled. The drywallers have been in here, but they've been holding off on me getting the shower valve changed out so that they could go ahead and hang this and it'd be ready for tile. But we've gone over several videos. I get questions all the time on Delta shower valves. I figured I can show you setting up the new shower valve. This will be our master bath. It's not a huge bathroom, but it's more than accommodating for us when we come from one bath. So, but like I said, I've went over Delta shower valves numerous times. This is a great instructional before I tear this out. I've already cut the plumbing off below in the house. I'll probably shoot some video. I'm going to change a lot of the plumbing and piping and PEX throughout the house. This old copper is starting to really oxidize. It's getting pretty bad shape, but nonetheless, I wanted to kind of go over Delta shower valves again. It's good to refresh all the time if this isn't something you mess with all the time, but it's a good place for me to kind of show some of the things that I'm talking about when I'm doing stuff in the garage. This is your typical standard setup of a valve. This is the 3-tube design in the back. And it's mounted into the wall. With the shower surround that was in here, I'll show you what I mean, that you don't have a lot of room to hold on to this valve with a pair of channel locks, but we'll just kind of show you what happens up close when you try to put too much force on this and to get this cartridge out, as well as I'll talk about what would I do if we damaged it. That way you can kind of, you know, have some information that if you damage this valve at home, what do I need to do to repair it or fix it. So let's just start off with, a lot of people say that you can hold this valve, you can put another set of clamping device or clamping pliers or tool on this and try to hold it. They're usually pretty large, and a lot of people are probably not going to have a ton of tools to hold on to it. My channel locks actually aren't even probably large enough, but this body is brass, and I don't ever try to do this, but I'm putting a lot of force on it. I'm going to zoom in and get up close on this valve, and I'm going to twist it just like you should not do whenever you're going to take it loose. Alright, so we've got the video set up. This ring actually is not too tight on here. It will back off. But just for the video's sake, I'm going to show you what happens. The biggest problem people run into, I think, when they're trying to get this cartridge out, is they do not turn the house water off. You have to turn the house water off, and you have to open up a sink, a faucet, something to allow the pressure off from the house. Otherwise, this nut will not come off if the house water is up and pressurized. But what most people do, there's 3 tubes right here. You can see them. They'll grab this valve. The first thing that they do is put way too much pressure on it. And a lot of times homeowners can get these off if they soak them, or if they take the house pressure down. This ring's actually spinning, but I'll grab the valve just to show you. And so we're starting to damage the valve right now. So the more you do that, you've just sheared off the valve. And that's what happens in most people's houses, that they do not turn the house water off. And to get, sorry, I'm trying to go back and forth with the camera zoomed in. They do not turn the house water off, and when the house water is not off, this ring will not come off of this cartridge right here with house pressure on it. The house pressure pushes too much water pressure on this cartridge and will not allow for this ring to come off. So first and foremost, if you're going to change this, cut the house pressure down, open up a faucet. Otherwise, you're probably going to run into this, and you're going to shear this valve off. But like I said, I already have house water down for this demonstration, so I don't recommend doing this at home. Alright everybody, so the video shut off on me a couple times. I had to restart, but shearing that valve off, I wanted to just kind of show you. We've discussed this several times. What would be the next step if you've sheared that valve off, and now I've got to make this repair, I got to do something for the plumber to come in, or I'm going to change this valve out myself. You can get yourself a tubing cutter. You can use a hacksaw, but if you do and you're going to use these shark bites, you need to clean it up really good before you push these on, or they'll cut the O-ring inside of the shark bites. I don't typically use shark bites when I change all these valves out, or I'm doing an upfit, we're doing a new shower. I usually always get rid of these older ones that have the 3-tube design. I don't leave those in place, so that's the reason for changing this valve out. But I am going to change a lot of the plumbing in the house to PEX, like I think I said that before. So I've already cut the water loose to this. But let's say this is your predicament. You've sheared the valve off. There is access from behind in this house. I have a laundry room on this side of the house, but I also have access from below. There's a crawl space, and you can put shark bites anywhere that you can, they're accessible. I think most plumbing codes stipulate that you're not supposed to bury them anywhere inside of a wall. But what I would do is say you're just going to try to get this replaced, or let's say that you're going to get it taken out so that way you can have a plumber come in. But you've got your house water out, you've sheared off the valve. I cut the pipe off. If you could get access from the back, because like I said, I know in most applications you're going to be messing with a finished shower, so you're not going to have this access that I'm using right here. You'd need to get one of those spring panels like we talked about from Home Depot, or just cut your drywall out on the back side and you'll fix it later if you can get access back there. But I would basically cut this off. These pipes are dropping because, like I said, I've got the plumbing disconnected in the crawl space below. But you can cut that valve out. So we've cut the valve out. Let's say that these two pipes are your existing plumbing that you've got. So what I explained in a couple of other videos is this valve's not hard to change out by yourself. You can use a shark bite union like this, and you can push this fitting straight onto the plumbing that you have in the wall. And then you can get yourself a piece of PEX piping. I'll cut this down so it's not so big. You can get your PEX piping at the store, and this is what I was talking about in the previous video. Shark bite fitting will go from PEX to copper or to CPVC. It'll do either or any of the three of those materials with no different fittings. It interchanges between the three. But as long as you've got access or what you're comfortable with, you can use a shark bite and change this valve out yourself. I've heard people talk that anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 is what some people have commented on the previous video, saying that plumbers have been charging to change out one of these Delta shower valves. But I also had talked about maybe that's not comfortable for you. You don't want to go to the trouble of trying to, sorry if there's a shadow by the way, I've got a shop light in here. But you don't want to go to the trouble of trying to change this valve out yourself. So what you're going to do is basically just try to get it to a point that you can get the plumber back in, but you need to bring the house water back up, and you've sheared the valve off. What I would do is, I'm trying to find the better of the two ends. This is how bad some of the piping is that's in the house. So that's why I'm going to change a lot of it to PEX, because it is, I'm surprised that it didn't have pinholes in it already. But I'll use this, it's a little cleaner. So if you've cut that pipe off in the wall, you've got your two pipes coming up that are supplying your water to your valve. This is what I've talked about in previous videos. These are SharkBite caps that basically just do the exact same thing that the Union's going to do, but you can go to the hardware store, get two of these, push it on, and cap both sides of your pipe off that's coming up the wall, and then you can turn your house water back on, and you're good to go until the plumber shows up. I would leak check these once you bring the water back up, but that's the type of repairs that I've been wanting to put a video together and talk about. What would we do if we broke or damaged one of these Delta shower valves? That's my recommendations as far as the easiest things that the homeowner can do. What I typically do in applications where I'm not changing a bunch of piping below is I use a fitting that sweats to this copper, and then I crimp my PEX to it, so that way once we cover everything back up, I don't have any mechanical fittings like the SharkBite. But I am going to change everything out in here to PEX and new valve, and we're going to have a completely new setup in here. But like I said, I mostly wanted to kind of show this for an instructional, what would I do worst case scenario. So we appreciate you being here. I'll include some footage of getting this valve buttoned up, and we'll catch you on the next video. Take care and have a good day.